What's up, y'all? It's the kid Get Busy Rule with another video, giving you guys some mentorship. And today I'm going to be going over how you can get access to over $200,000 in funding at 0% interest, regardless of your situation. Today I'm gonna be giving you guys the sauce. Now, when it comes to funding, I want you to keep in mind that there's two ways that you can actually get access to funding. You can either personal guarantee the approval and run your personal credit, or you can use your LLC. And I don't recommend using your LLC or EIN unless you have a super high paydex score or you have at least 3 years of history under your LLC. If not, welcome to the personal guarantee side, where we're going to get you approved as soon as possible. The first thing you want to think about is structure, right? Your credit report has to be structured a certain way in order for you to even think about getting approved. I know so many different people that have a 780 credit score, 800 credit score, 760 credit score, but they can't get approved even with those scores. Why? Because they lack structure. A lot of people confuse structure and scores. Your score doesn't really matter. Yes, you want to have a great credit score. Your scores have to be over 680 in order for you to be considered to get approved for funding. But what is most important is your credit report. You have to have the right accounts reflecting on there to show these lenders that you're capable of handling the amount of funding that you're going to receive. So I always tell my clients, you want to have at least 7 positive primary accounts on your credit report. Now, there's going to be a big difference between trade lines and primaries. A lot of people on the internet, a lot of people on YouTube are talking about getting these trade lines on your credit report, going out and purchasing trade lines. They're going to get your scores high. That doesn't matter. We're talking about primary history, right? When these lenders are looking at your report, they can tell the difference between primaries and trade lines, and they value primaries way more. So you want to have at least 7 primaries on your report. I recommend 4 credit cards and 3 credit builders. As far as the credit cards, I recommend the Chase Freedom Flex. Make sure you're writing this down. It's super important. You want to go for the Capital One Platinum MasterCard, the Discover IT card, or the Discover It, however you want to, say it. And then lastly, you want to go to a local credit union. That can be DCU, that can be Navy Federal, that can be Metro Credit Union. You can go on Google, you can search up some of the best credit unions in your area and, go through the reviews, and that's where you want to go and you want to apply. But those are the 4 credit cards I recommend: Chase Freedom Flex, Capital One Platinum MasterCard, the Discover IT card, and then a credit union. You can do your research and find the best credit union, in your area. Those are going to be the 4 cards, right? The reason I say those cards, because they're the easiest to get approved for, and they'll also give you some great limits. And then you also want to add credit builders on your report as well. You have accounts like Kickoff, which is an app. You can download the app. It's green. I'll have it pop up right here so you guys can see what it looks like. You have creditstrong.com. That's a website that you can check out. They're going to offer you 4 different packages on accounts that you can open up with them, and you pay them a subscription every single month. Make sure your account is on auto pay. You don't want to add on any negative items or any late payments while you're creating these accounts. And then you have Self-Lender. Self-Lender is also another app. So those right there are 7 different accounts that you can leverage and you're going to build history on in order to get access to funding. Keep this in mind. This isn't something where you're going to open up these accounts and you'll be able to apply for funding in the next 2 weeks, right? This is all strategic. I'd rather wait 4 months and get approved for $150,000 and try to rush the play and go get, $5,000 from the bank. Each of these accounts have to be open for minimum 4 months, right? So this is to get funding this year. This is not to get funding in the next month. This is not to get funding in 2 months. This is to get funding this year, right? So you want to age these accounts minimum at least 4 months. So Capital One, you have Chase, local credit union, you have Discover, and then you have creditstrong.com, you have Self-Lender, and then you have Kickoff. Those are the accounts that you're going to need. We're going to age every single one of these accounts for 4+ months. I would say the more you age them, the higher chances of approval. So don't go and submit the application on the 4th month. Don't wait for 4 months and a half. Try to really age it out. Try to be strategic with the play. Understand what the end goal is. We're not trying to half-ass. We're trying to get the max amount in funding as possible. After you get these accounts, what you also want to do is, right, you want to request a credit limit increase. I always tell my clients every 3 months you want to request that credit limit increase for yourself. So after these 4 months of you aging these accounts, you want to go down the line in the order that you applied for these cards, and you want to request a credit limit increase. You want to see how high you can get these limits, because these banks and lenders are also looking at comparable credit. You're not going to get access to $100,000 in funding if on your personal report you have $2,000 in credit, right? But now if you have $10,000 in credit, you have $20,000 in credit, you now have that leverage where you can get these high approvals. So what you're going to do is you're going to age these accounts for 4 months. You're going to call the number on the back of every single credit card. You're going to go down the line in order, and you're going to request a credit limit increase. You want to at least try to get every card over a $2,500 limit, right? And then after you get these approvals, you're going to wait for it to reflect. What bureau are we looking at? We're looking at Experian. These lenders most of the times are going to be pulling from your Experian report in order to approve you, especially when it comes to higher amounts. So you're going to wait for it to reflect on your Experian. You want to get a copy of your Experian report. You can do that for free. You're going to wait for these limits to also reflect on your Experian, and then you're going to go ahead and move forward with the process. You also want to make sure you wipe your inquiries. You want to make sure you have under at least 6 inquiries when you're applying, for funding. So you're going to go ahead, you're going to apply for all these cards, you're going to age them out. You're going to make sure before you go in for funding, you actually apply and get that inquiry on your report. You want to have yourself under 6 personal inquiries. So what you'll do is before you go in, you'll do a 24-hour inquiry removal, right? If you don't know how to do that, my team can do that for you. We'll remove any inquiries that aren't tied to any open accounts within 24 hours, and then we're going to actually go into funding. So the first bank I recommend you go to is going to be Chase Bank. Why Chase? Chase is giving out the biggest bag at 0% interest, and it's not even that hard to get approved. Chase is not that hard to get into as long as you have those cards that I went over earlier in those accounts, those credit builders. You have above a 680 credit score, your utilization is under 30%, and you have no negative items on your report. Now, the first thing you want to do when it comes to Chase, you want to open up a business checking account. The name of the business checking account that you want to open is going to be the Chase Complete Checkings. This is the account that you want to open, and the reason you're doing this is so you can get into Chase's system before even applying for a credit card. You're going to build that relationship early on. You're going to open up a Chase Complete Checking account, and you're going to deposit as much money as you can into that account. So when they run this application, they see your name's already in their system and you have a good amount of money already deposited in the account. But you don't want to submit this application on your own. There's a difference. You can either submit it on your own or you can submit it through a banking relationship manager. And that's what you want access to. Me and my team are going to give you access to a BRM or a banking relationship manager that's going to submit this application instead of on your end, on our end. We're going to stamp that application. We're going to send it in through a Chase representative to make sure that you get approved. So for the first 50 people watching this video that qualify, that have the accounts, at least 7 positive accounts aged on their credit report, they have under 6 inquiries, they meet all the requirements that I went over, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to submit your application firsthand through my banking relationship manager to ensure that you have access to funding. So this is only giveaway for the first 50 people. Make sure you comment. My team is going to reach out to you. We're going to be able to get you a good bag within the next 4 months. Let's do it.